So, good morning, team, and a very warm welcome to the TrioTech software training programs. And this particular training program is scheduled for an ERP application, which is developed by Oracle Corporation. And the name of the application is Oracle Fusion. And within Oracle Fusion's, the training which we are going to cover is Oracle Fusion Financials module, right? So this particular training program is more around the financial modules of the Oracle Fusion Cloud product, and it is conducted by the TrioTech Software Training Institute. And my name is Abhishek. I'm the trainer of this batch. And as explained yesterday also, and especially the students who have joined today, this is a no coding required training program where we'll be learning the different aspects or different modules of this application, where we'll learn how to build a application from scratch, how to configure the application, how to use the application for various functionalities, and also see the in and outs of the application in terms of various administrator or related configuration. Okay. Now we had a discussion about the oral concept in the yesterday's session also, that what is this oral concept is, why we have designed this training program, what is the usage of this training program, and what is the real market position of this product, which is Oracle Fusion Financials. Now, a quick introduction about myself, especially the students who have joined today. So my name is Abhishek Kumar, and I have around 13 plus years of experience in the Oracle consulting. I've been a part of the various Oracle implementation projects, support projects, and have worked in multiple legislation, including US, UK, Middle East, Singapore, and Australia. So during this tenure, I have implemented this Oracle Cloud application, and especially the financial application for various businesses. So mid-size, large size business houses, I have implemented this application. I have been a part of the support team. I have been the part of the solution designing team, where I was responsible for designing the overall solution of the various businesses in terms of Oracle financial solutions. Now, meanwhile, I have delivered 13 plus training programs to the various corporate houses. So basically, corporate houses means various businesses who have already Oracle implemented in their organization. And in order to enhance the skill set, or in order to make their employees well trained on the Oracle Fusion Financials, so we have conducted various training programs that we have delivered to the various businesses. And during this tenure, I have worked with various organizations, including the Big Fours, including Deloitte. I have worked with Oracle Consulting. I have worked with EY. I have worked with PwC, and various other organizations in India I've worked with. Now, additionally, I'm an Oracle certified specialist, which means I have done Oracle certifications also in various financial modules. And on the basis of that, we have taken care of, while designing this training course, that yes, this training course will not only be able to enhance the subject knowledge of the student, but also help themselves in order to prepare for the Oracle Fusion Financial certifications. So some quick do's and don'ts team as a part of this meeting. So yes, we are recording this meeting, and we'll be sharing this meeting across to all the students once the enrollment processes are completed. And during this session, my request is to keep yourself on mute. And for any kind of queries, your chat option is open, so you can use your Zoom chat option to put your queries. And at the end of the session, we have a dedicated time slot for the question and answers. So we'll be taking all those questions and answers there. And also, we have our admin team with us, so they'll also be responding offline for all your queries and also in the chats. So feel free to ask any product related queries, any training related queries, any career related queries. So yes, we'll be very happy to answer those queries. Okay, team. So here, in addition, what we have covered in the yesterday's demo session, team, uh, here is some additional agenda that we're going to cover today, which will actually help you to understand the benefits of this training. And also, as a part of this session, I'll give you overview of the application in which we are going to work. So some of the basics in and outs of the application will look in today's session so that it will give you a feel about the application, how the application looks like, what are the basics of the application, how to start right from the scratch of the application, and what exactly we are going to cover as a part of this application. That is something we'll be able to cover in today's agenda. So a quick view on the agenda for today. So we'll start with the training outcomes. Like one of the very frequently asked question from the students is, what is the training outcome? What we can expect after the end of this training, or what kind of benefits we can get out of this training program? So that is something I'll be discussing in detail here under the training outcomes. And also, we had a discussion on the work profiles, various work profiles that are available. So again, a detailed discussion we'll be having here in this session today, and some reference to the companies which are involved here. So just let me open the pointer. So some of the implementation companies which are involved, the companies who has developed the product, some of the business related companies. So all discussion will be having here to give you a clear idea that yes, which all companies who work with the Oracle platform, and how they work, and all those details we'll be discussing here. Then we'll start with the application, where we'll be opening the basic navigations of the application. Will navigate through the application in order to get familiar yourself with the Oracle Fusion user interface and the navigational components, right? We'll see how the basic features of the application work, or what are the prerequisite in order to use the application. So that is something we'll be covering as a part of this session. And then also we'll be having a question and answer round, where all your queries will be addressing as a part of this demo session. So let's start with the agenda for today, team. So I'll start first with the training outcomes. Now, what I've done here, I've prepared this table where I have classified my students into two parts. One is as a fresher. As you know, we have a mixed match of population, where we have freshers who have recently done their graduation and post-graduation, and now they are uh, willing to enter in this field of Oracle ERP, right? And for them, how this training program is going to be beneficial, right? So that is something we'll discuss here. Now, from the experienced students' point of view, which means the students who have already working in some other platforms, now they want to explore Oracle Fusion Financials, or they want to upskill themselves and become a part of the Oracle Fusion stream. So for them, how this training program can be helpful, that is something we'll understand here. So key pointers I have mentioned here. So one is the product knowledge. So is this training program is going to help you to increase your product knowledge? So the answer is yes. For the freshers, it is definitely going to help you out in increasing your product knowledge, because as we will be covering all the financial core modules in terms of configuration plus in terms of functional testing, which means that from both the sides, how to configure the application and how to explore various functionalities. And on the basis of functionalities, also will be having a real-time discussion that how the in real world the projects are implemented, how the solutions are designed, or what are the key considerations that we take into that will take care at the time of designing a solution, right? So those things we'll be discussing as a part of this training program, and that is something where you'll be able to enhance your product knowledge in terms of Oracle Fusion Financials module, right? And same for the experienced consultant also, as who have either already worked in the or previous ERP platforms. So then and there, they can get this kind of product knowledge, where they'll be able to see how the product is different in terms of existing product, and how the new technologies or the new functionalities are available, and how it works in the new product. So that is where it will be helpful for both types of consultants. Now, second thing, is this something, is this training program which is going to help me in securing a job in Oracle domain? Yes. So that is the overall objective of this program, where especially from the freshers point of view, where they want to secure a job in Oracle domain as a fresher. So this training will be helpful for you guys, right? are not included there in case of experience, because experienced persons, they are already either working in some Oracle domain on some in some other domain, so they just want to upskill themselves and now they want to switch the job, right? So I'm not uh, mention it deliberately that they want to secure a new job, because yes, they're already working, so either they can switch from the current stream to the new stream, which is Oracle Fusion Financials, or if they are already working. So as I know, many of our consultants who are working in Oracle stream, but maybe they are working in some other Oracle related product, they are working in other streams like supply chain and all, now they want to upskill themselves in terms of Oracle Fusion Financial, right? So this there and there it will be helpful for you to secure a job. Now, more on the experience side, upskill product knowledge, right? So as experienced students who are already part of the training, so they already know how the product works, overall product works, or how the other streams work, right? And now they want to upskill themselves in terms of Oracle Fusion Financials. So then and there, it will help themselves to upskill their product knowledge. Then enhanced subject knowledge. Yes, as I mentioned, the approach that we are going to use in this training program is a way that we are doing the actual implementation. So what are the key phases that we have in the actual implementation? What are the outcomes of the actual phases of the project, right? So end-to-end project lifecycle is something that we'll be discussing in detail. So it will help you to understand how the overall project lifecycle works, what are the key stages, what are the inputs which are required from our side, what are the outputs that we can expect from the business side, or on the completion of the stages of the product, right? Project, I mean to say. So it will help you to enhance your knowledge in terms of practical experience, right? So here I'm not referring only to the theoretical experience, but practical experience that yes, as and when you are deployed on a project, you are deployed on an application implementation program. So how you are going to do that, what are the stages, how it works in the real life scenario, right? So that is something where it will help you to enhance your subject matter knowledge and learn about the end-to-end implementation cycle. So as I mentioned in the previous point also, that yes, the end-to-end implementation cycle, which means the project end-to-end implementation cycle, how the projects are implemented, what are the key stages, what are the methodologies that we use for implementing a project. When I say implementing a project, I mean to say Oracle Fusion application. So what are the key stages, how it works, those things will be covering. So ultimately, it will help both the freshers as well as experienced consultant to gain an understanding that yes, this is how the project works in a real life scenario. And last and not the least is prepare for certifications. So as the model that of training that we have adopted here is more of like classroom conferences or practical conferences where we'll be doing the actual testing in the real time, right? We'll see how the system is get or application gets configured, how various functionalities work. So that is very helpful in terms of preparation of the certification examination that is conducted by Oracle University, right? So those who are not aware, I'll just give a brief. So there are certification examinations which are conducted by Oracle University, right? And module-wise certifications are there, right? So in financials also for different modules like accounts payable, we have certification, account receivable, we have certification, GL, we have certification. So various types of certification exams are there conducted by Oracle University. And at the end, if you get that certification, that is kind of add-on while you apply for a job in the post of Oracle Fusion Financial Consultant, because that's a kind of like proof that yes, you are a certified consultant, you have the in-depth product knowledge, and you are well aware of the oral Oracle concept. Correct. Now, in that context only, uh, when we work on this training program, so it is a practical based approach, as well as we also will be giving the access of the Oracle repository from the theoretical point of view. That is where we will be able to cover all the relevant concepts. Correct. And ultimately, the aim is yes, apart from the training, means apart from the product knowledge, you should be getting enough knowledge so that on the basis of the what you'll be able to do is prepare for your Oracle certifications. Right. So that is something uh, we'll take it as an output of this training program. All right, team. So let me move to the next part here. Now, some roles that we have discussed in the yesterday's session. So again, a detailed illustration of that, specifically in context that where exactly you can find these roles in which company, whether in vendor company, consulting company, end user company. So we'll start with the first role, which is as an implementation consultant. Right. Now, when I say vendor company, basically what does it mean? It means Oracle Corporation, who has developed this product. So in every country, almost every country across the globe, Oracle do have or Oracle is registered as Oracle Consulting, which is responsible of implementing products, Oracle product for various businesses, right? So as an implementation consultant also, they have roles where the implementation department of Oracle, they hire consultant, they have a team of consultant who are responsible for implementing projects for various businesses. So yes, you can do it. You can expect a role in vendor company also, which is Oracle Corporation. As I mentioned, they have a separate consulting company which deals in implementation. Same way, second part, consulting companies. So consulting companies, there are various companies, including the big four, Deloitte, EY, Infosys, you have Mastic Limited, you have Accenture, you have TechM, you have Capgemini. So all these are in partnership with Oracle. And what they do, they implement the Oracle application for various businesses. And they are called as partner company or the consulting company. So what they do, they have a Oracle practice developed. They have their team of consultants who implement the product on behalf of the end user company. Means end user company who are the actual businesses who wants application to be implemented. So the consulting company, they do their implementation. So so majority of the opportunities that will be getting is for consulting company, where they have wide openings for various projects that they have. Okay. And same way with the end user company, you can also be a part of the end user company, where many of the end user company who are actually using Oracle, they have their in-house team for implementing various features, various product features, various modules for Oracle. So then and there also you can find the job opportunities as a part of the overall program. Now, same way, here we have implementation consultant as the role. The other role can be of support consultant, where specifically the businesses which have already implemented Oracle, now they are in the support phase, where vendor company, which is Oracle, for providing support to those end user company or businesses. Same way, they are also consulting companies there are which are providing support services to the end user company. And third is the end user company, where they have their own in-house team for providing support, right? So you can also fit as a look into the part of the support consulting team, so that option is also available. Now, third, or the one of the important role, as I mentioned, is product testing consultants. So vendor companies hire in the profile of product testing, where you are responsible for testing the product which has been implemented by the vendor company, implemented by the consulting company, implemented by the end user company, and your profile will be restricted to test what has been implemented and share the details like whether the product has been developed, product has been implemented as per the business requirements of it. So one of the very newest, one of the very good profile, this one is product testing, and recently there are a lot of openings that you can see in this areas also, where especially for the purpose of testing whatever is being implemented in various businesses, this profile has been introduced. And last and not the least, as a freelancer, as a contractor, so various across the globe, you'll see opportunities for freelancing and as a work on contractual basis for various projects as a implementation and as a support consultant. So both the sides is available from the vendor company side, consulting company side, as well as even for the end user company side. These kind of profiles are available so that you can take active roles as a part of this profile. Okay. So hope this particular presentation, it help you to understand like what kind of roles I can expect, but within that roles also, like in what different companies, whether at the vendor level, vendor means Oracle level, or at the consulting company level, I can expect these roles, or even at the end user company, you can expect these kind of opportunities to be available in the market. Alrighty, so with this, let me move to the next part. So here, what I have done, I've just given you an example. So yesterday we were discussing examples of certain companies which were involved. in the execution of Oracle, right? Or the end users of Oracle or the company which is selling the Oracle product, right? So here we have the vendor company, which is Oracle Corporation, US-based tech company, and it has companies across the world, rested in India as well as the other parts of world, who are actively involved in the product development as well as who are also involved in Oracle consulting, which means they implement the product on behalf of various end user companies, right? Then you have various consulting or the partner companies who are in partner with Oracle, who implement Oracle on behalf of the businesses, various businesses. So that includes your big names like Accenture, Cognizant, Deloitte, IBM, Infosys, PwC, TCS, Wipro. And on a periodic basis, these companies, uh, they have their requirements. They give you the job opportunities in terms of Oracle implementation consultant, support consultant. So wide openings are there time to time, and you can expect various opportunities from these companies. Along with that, these are some big names, right? Along with that, you also have some mid-size, small-size companies which are available. So hundreds of companies they are partnered with Oracle, and not only in India, right? Even abroad, if you're looking for a global role, so then and there also the concept is same, where there are multiple consulting companies who are working abroad, and they hire on a periodic basis in the profile of the Oracle Fusion Financial Consultant. Now, some of the examples here on the end user company who are working on the Oracle Fusion Cloud platform. So this list is available directly on the Oracle official website. Even you can use check this list from there. So we have some of the renowned names in India. We have where we have Bharti Airtel Limited, we have Bajaj Allianz Life Insurance Company Limited, SBI Card works on Oracle platform. Then Uber, Zoom, FedEx, Mazda, Bosch. These are some international brands which are working on the Oracle cloud technology. All right, team. So I think here I had an understanding like which are the companies involved, what are the roles which are available in the market, what are the training outcomes that we can expect out of this training program. And now let me take you here on the Oracle application. Let me give you an overall view of the Oracle application, how it looks like, how the basic navigation looks like, or how to access the application. So let's do that, right? So let me open the browser and let me share the details. So just give me a moment. Okay, team. So here, so in order to access the application, there are basically three things that I require. One is the application URL. URL means the URL of this Oracle Fusion Financial Software, correct? So this is how it looks like, followed by the HTTPS and followed by the actual link and the suffix as oraclecloud.com. Correct. So this is one thing that I'll be requiring. Then my user credentials, which is my user ID and password, right? So using the same, I should be able to access the application. So here I'll do, let me enter the URL, enter the ID and password. So this is where I'll be entering my user ID, I'll be entering my password, and then I have an option called sign in. I'll just click on sign in. So once I sign in, what I'm able to see here on the left hand side, welcome, my username, right? And then there are some icons that you'll be able to see here. Let me just take you to the home page of this application, and this is how it looks like. So some greetings here and name of the user, right? And these are now some news and announcement. So basically, depending upon the format or depending upon the theme that you are set up for this particular application, you'll be able to see these details. And predominantly, you'll be able to see your organization relevant details, some news and articles related to your organization. Those things can be published here, right? But if I scroll down, This is where I'll be able to see various icons, various details related to my application. Okay. Now, what are these details? So these are different subject areas or different modules depending upon what type of module I have access of, right? So if I'm a financial consultant, I'll be having access of my financial modules like payables, general accounting, cash management, fixed asset, right? So depending upon the various roles that I'll be having, roles means the responsibilities, what kind of functionalities I'll be using in the system, depending upon these icons will be visible. So this is how the overall look will be, where you have the name of the module, the subject area related to the module available here, some of the quick actions available here, right? Now, let's understand some of the basics here. So on the top, you have the home icon, where from where you can navigate to the home screen of the application. Now, irrespective of any page where you are in, on the top, you'll be able to see the home icon, which means you can directly click this home icon to take the application to the home page of the application, which we can also call it as a dashboard, right? So this is how the dashboard looks like, where you have all the functionalities listed. Okay. Now, on the right hand side, these things are something additional which we'll be discussing later. So on the extreme right, we have something called settings and actions. Okay. So under settings and actions, the first option on the top right you have is sign out. This is from where you can sign out from the application. Then you have multiple options which are available here. Now, some of the options are relevant to the application in relevance to the details which are mentioned in the application, and some of the details are relevant in terms of configuration. When you start configuring the application one by one, we'll be seeing this option. What are the relevance of these options like setup and maintenance, then set preferences and all, right? But as of now, the most important thing is this one, which is about this application. Now, when I click on this, so this is how about this application. A detail of the application, what version, what is the current update, and all those details are available here, right? So first, anytime when you get access of the application, the first thing that you need to make sure is to check what details of the application, like on what version it is, what is the current upgrade on which the application is working, right? So here, if you see the application version is 24D 1113 2410. Okay. Now, as a consultant or as a beginner, I need to understand what these details mean, right? So, in order to understand that, let me open a concept here, which is environmental release. Now, in order to understand this thing, right, I would like to in past of the application, like how the application evolved and how it worked. So, as I mentioned in the yesterday session, the application was developed in 2010 and 2011 was released to the open world. And as and when the first application was released, it started with the release one. So release one, then release two, three, four, five, like that. And in 2017, in the year 2017, when it was released 13, right? So that release 13, where the product was the in most stable status, right? And that became the static release, right? Which means that from this release onwards, the application was 100% stable with optimized features was introduced in the application. And then that particular release was fixed to release 30. Okay, so that is just a history of the Oracle Fusion release. Now, what we need to understand that how it is linked with this application details here. So you have, let me copy this. Okay, so this is what is available here. Now, as I mentioned in the last session also, that this application is once developed, but on a continuous basis, the application gets upgraded. Upgraded means introduction of new features, uh, compatibility with the latest technologies. Latest technology means artificial intelligence, machine learning, as well as the global business environmental changes, right? So whatever is changing on the side of the business globally. So in order to incorporate those changes in the application goes with a continuous upgrade cycle, right? And the upgrade cycle that Oracle follows is a quarterly upgrade policy, which means that on every quarter, so Oracle follows Jan to December as the calendar. And every quarter they release an upgrade with the new enhancement. And if in case any of the functionality where there are some identified bugs, they'll remove those bugs, they'll fix those bugs, as well as introduce new functionality, make new functionalities available in compatibility with the latest available technology. So all this becomes a part of your quarterly upgrade policy. So each and every application which is Oracle Cloud will undergo into an upgrade, right? And normally those upgrades are planned on the weekends or after the business hours, and within in a limited number of like hours, right? So it is not something that like during that time the application is down. No, the application works fine, but in the back end, in the back as a part of the backend process, the application also gets upgraded, right? And quarterly, as I mentioned, quarterly upgrades are done. So Jan to March becomes your first quarter, April to June second quarter, July to September third quarter, October December becomes your fourth quarter. So what has been done? First quarter is denoted by A, followed by second quarter by B, third quarter as C, and fourth quarter by D. So whenever it's mentioned here, D, which means that it's an upgrade for October to December. Correct. Now, the year in which the upgrade is done. So, if the year is 2021, 2022, 2023, so this how the naming convention is. So, 21A means 21 year 21 first quarter, 21 second quarter, 21C means third quarter, 21D means fourth quarter. So, if I talk as of today, so 24D means year 2024 quarter upgrade October to December, right? Now, when I try to understand the application version here. So first it is mentioned as 24D. Okay. 24D means year 2024 quarter four. So right now we are in the fourth quarter of the 2024 October to December. So that means the current version is belongs to 2024 fourth quarter, means the application is already upgraded for the fourth quarter. Then 11 here. 11 means the first year in which the application release one was introduced. So 2011. 13 means the release in which the application became the static. So here row number 15, you can see 2017 R13. So these two values will always be there as static values, 11.13. 24 belongs to the year in which year the application got upgraded, or for which year the application got upgraded. So 2024. 10 means the month in which the application got upgraded, right? So here it is 10 means October. If it was 11, that means November. 12 means December. And point zero. Point zero means is it the first upgrade or the more than one upgrade. So normally one quarter only one upgrade is scheduled, which means that always you'll see the month dot zero. But in any exceptional case, if more than one release is planned, then here you can also see dot one dot two like that as the information. Now, why this information is pretty much important, or why we are focusing on this information here. So the reason being, anytime when you get this application for the first time, right? Let's say you're part of the implementation team, you're part of the support team. So using this information, you can easily identify that what is the current version of the application, and is there is any upgrade which is due for this application. Means, is it the latest upgraded application, or there is an upgrade which we can expect as a part of the upcoming future or upcoming months. And on that basis, generally the decision is taken whether to start the application configuration for now, or to wait for the next upgrade to uh, apply, or to the application to be upgraded, right? So that is the basic set of information which as a consultant you'll be first confirming, you'll be checking as a part of this application. Then we have some additional details here, like Oracle Application Development Framework, means the development framework for the technical side on which this application is working on, middleware framework, and the database compatibility, like which database the application is working on, right? The most important information here is this one. So you should be able to understand this information. On the basis of, we can decide whether the application is going to be upgraded. Is there is any upgrades which is scheduled in the upcoming future? That is something we can identify from here. So basic thing. Okay. Now, apart from this one, which is about this application, right? What else which is of prime importance is this one, which is set preferences. If we go to set preferences here, so under set preferences, I have regional. So this is where the basic details of your user accounts gets populated. Okay, what does it mean? The regional level configuration. So the regional level of configuration means by default you'll always see the territory as United States. Yeah, right. The date format which is applicable to the United States, the time format related to United States, number format. There is a default set of information, currency as USD, time zone as United States. Okay. Now, depending upon the region in which you're working, correct? So let's say I'm working in the IST, Indian time zone, right? So that means for the purpose of using this application, all the things should be visible as applicable to the IST, right? So the territory should be India, right? The date format. So how I would like my date format to be visible in on my application, right? So this is not something which I'm changing here and will be applicable to other users as well. No, this is something which will be applicable to only to my user account. Okay. Now, do I want my date to be published in this way, month dash date dash year, or there are multiple other formats. So all the formats which are globally accepted, all are available here. And normally it's from the user that what preference you want to have, or generally when you're implementing on the half of a particular business, so on the business side they can give you the requirement that this is how the date format should be published. Same way with the time format also, hour, minutes, hours, and all those details are available here. So this is a one time or the first time job that we'll be doing while fixing your account whenever you get your account credentials. So you can check the regional level of information, you can fix those information, time format, number format, how you want numbers to be available, because as we'll be dealing in the financial numbers, right? So how the number should visible, whether it should with comma, without comma, in some of the regions it's the comma on the top, right? So that way how the number for format should be visible, that is also can be fixed as a part of my general preferences. Then you have this default currency. If you're dealing in India and you're dealing in INR, right? So this becomes my default currency here, right? If I'm dealing in any other currency, if I'm implementing for US project, then USD should be the currency. If I'm implementing for Middle East, then Middle East currency should be here. And also, additionally, how I want my time zones to be visible. So for when I perform various processes, so it captures, it gives me the time level details. So I want the time to be visible in which time zone. So if I'm working in India, it should be IST. If I'm working in Arabian time zone, it should be Arabian time zone, USD time zone, UK time zone, right? Now, these are just the basics that will help you to take care of your personal user account, right? And the information will be available in this format, right? So that is something that you can do upfront when you are accessing the application for the first time. Then you have something called password here. So you can reset your password directly from here, right? So if you click here, so it will take you to the password screen. And from here, you can reset the password. So it's just loading here. So you can enter your current password, enter your new password, and the confirm password. That is one way of doing that. But there are other options if you forgot the password. So we do have placeholders from where we can fix that. Now, a basic about the general preference, right? Because this is where you'll be landing first on the while accessing the application. You'll be fixing your preferences, right? If you don't do anything here, the default, which is USD specific, US specific, will be applicable. Now, what next we have here, something very important. Now, as we can see, I have a user account which is already created. Now, where this user account is coming from? So, is it something which is uh, by default comes with the application, or someone has to create as a part of the application? So, the answer is yes. User account is something that needs to be created as a part of the application. So, now let's say, for example, I want to create a user account. So, on the top left, we have something called navigator, these three lines, correct? And then you have the Oracle logo. So if you click here, so there is something called security console, and under security console, you have something called users. So when you click on users, it will open a field like form like this, user account, and then you have an option called add user account. Okay. So when you click on add user account, so that is where you will be able to access the form from where your particular user account can be created. Now, let's say for example, let's say I want to create a user account for the for the training part, right? So what I'll be doing, I'll be entering the details here, right? So it can be in this naming convention, or if it is specific to a particular user, particular employee, then your employee name will be visible here. Then you have the email IDs. You can mention an email ID, phone number, and all those details. And the most important thing is this one, which is the username, right? So by default, what system do, first name dot last name, it takes as the username, but also there can be different policies like first name dot last name or email ID, your official email ID can become your username, right? And then and there, you can either take this name or you can edit if you want to put any other name for your user account. Okay. Now followed by the password. So this is where we can set the password. So let's say welcome. Let's say welcome. So now the user account details has been entered here. Now, additionally, what I can do here, I can just save and close so that my user account gets created. Now, there is something called add roles here, right? So what does it means? So that is something we'll see in a bit, right? So let me just save these details for here for now. I'll just copy the username and save and close. Password and confirm password should match. Okay. Now, what does it mean? It means that my user account has been created now, right? And then I should be able to access the application with the new user details. So I'll just click on, I'll enter the basic URL and then it should pop up the user ID and password screen. Enter the user details here, enter the password. And once it is done, then I'll be able to access the application, right? So once your user account is created, you'll be able to access a screen like this. If I go back to the home screen, right? So again, you have certain, by default, certain options are available to you, but that doesn't mean that you have all access of all the modules, all the subject areas, and you're able to perform the transactions or you're able to do the configurations, right? So only the basic options which are there. I don't have any of the financial modules listed here, right? Now, what is the process of getting the access? So how, what is the concept which is applicable in Oracle in order to get the access of the various modules, right? So then and there, if I go back here, we have a concept of security, right? So in order to understand the concept of security, we need to understand this concept, which is who, what, which data, right? What does it mean? Who means which user, right? Who is going to access the data? What means what kind of data should I be accessing, or as a user I should be allowed to access? And which means which data means which company related data, right? Now, should be knowing that this particular application, right? When we use this application for configuration, right? It is not something which is restricted to only one legal entity or one country. There can be n number of configuration that we can do in this one single application, right? So let's say, for example, I have a business called Reliance Group, correct? Reliance Group has like 100, 200 companies in itself. Now, is it something where I need to buy licenses for 200 companies at a time, or 200 different applications I have to buy? The answer is no. Even one single application will be able to accommodate all business functionalities, all business scenarios, all business processes of 200 companies at the same time, right? It's only one single application which is required. Correct. And then and there, this particular point, which is which data becomes very important. So let's say I'm a part of, let's say, Reliance Communications, right? Then I should be having access to only Reliance Communication. I should not be able to access data related to, let's say, geofinancial services. I should not be able to access data of like Reliance Chemicals. I should not be able to access data of Reliance Oil and Gas, right? So just an example of the different companies, right? So that then and there, the concept which is available here in terms of security is who means which user should be having access to what means which module, and within that module, which company or which particular subject area or which particular legal entity the access should be, right? Based on this concept only, the security has been enabled, and that is where we have something called role-based security, which is applicable in Oracle Fusion Financials, right? And not only in financials, I'll say, even other modules, you have the role-based security model only, right? Now, what happens here is once your user is created, so I have my user account created here. So this is like December 24 training user. This is the user account which has been created. Now, additionally, what access I need, right? If I need to have access of the general ledger, then I need to give the access of the general ledger related roles. If I need to have access of the accounts payables, I need to have access of the accounts payable related role. Same way with the fixed assets, same way with the cash management, right? So that way, unless and until I don't have the roles, I'll not be able to access any data, correct? So if I go here, Oracle Fusion applications use a role-based access control security model. Means if you have the roles, you'll be able to access the data. Users are assigned roles through which they can gain access of the functions, various business functions, various data within the application can be accessed only based on roles, right? All of our user roles are active concurrently. So means there are predefined roles which are available in the system module wise. So you need to assign those roles in order to get your user working. And user do not have to select the role when they sign in. Okay. So initially, when users sign in into the application, they'll not be able to do it from their own. It's always the admin user or the user who are the who takes care of the application. They'll be assigning you the roles on the basis of what you require. Correct. So hope you understood this concept. Now, from where the roles are assigned, that is also, let's have a check. So let me open my user as an admin user. I'll go to the user, search for the user that I've created. Let me open this user account. Now, these are just the basic things that we are doing in order to start the configuration, right? So we now what we have done, we have uh, seen how the application looks like, how the landing page looks like, how the basic preferences can be set, right? How to create a user account, and also what is the role-based security. And now I'm showing you how to give you the roles in order to make access of the various data. Okay. Now, how to add the roles? So I'll just edit my user, and here you have something called add role. Okay, from here I can give you the access of the role. So this account which is December 24 training user, right? Now let's say I want to give the access of the general ledger. Okay, so I'll go with the general ledger. Here we have some general ledger related roles. Let's say this one, general accountant, then general accounting manager. Now, what is the difference between these roles that we'll learn in the upcoming sessions when we have the GL sessions, when we have the accounts payable session. So we'll learn more in detail how the roles work, on the basis of role, what kind of access you can expect. But as of what you need to understand that in order to proceed with anything, I need the relevant roles, right? So let's say I want general accountant role. I'll just add the role here, select the role, add role, and that's it. I'll just save and close. Correct. This is how it is done. Now, what these roles do in turn, it will give you the access of various functionalities, right? Now, again, team, what we need to understand here is I'm getting the access of various functionalities, I'm getting the access of various data. But first thing is, which is the basic one, which is, did I start the configuration here? My application is still not configured, it's a blank application, all right? So first thing that I need to understand is how to start the configuration, right? And that is where I'll go back to my user account. Let me open it here. So you can open multiple screens, that won't be an issue. You can work on multiple screens at the same time. Here, when I go here to my user account, there is something called setup and maintenance I'll be able to see here, right? Whereas in the other account that I've created, I may not be able to see. I am able to see only the limited options here. What is the reason being? Reason being, I don't have, for the new account, I don't have the relevant roles to access the configuration part, right? So that is also a role driven concept. Now, what I'll do here, I'll move back to the other account here, go to setup and maintenance. So let me open this setup and maintenance. And if you see under financials, this is from where all my financial related modules can be configured. Payables, payment, cash management, expenses, fixed asset, receivable, right? So all these options, general ledger. So all these options are available here. So these are functional areas, or we call it as modules. So all my financial modules, which are part of my financials, are listed here, right? And on the right hand side, we have a concept called task, right? So whenever we do any configuration, the configuration is divided into multiple tasks, right? And like, for example, here, if you can see the banks, bank branches, bank accounts, right? So in the banks, I can set up banks. In the bank branches, I can set up branches. Bank branches in the bank accounts, I can set up the bank accounts. So like that, there are various tasks which are related to various modules that needs to be configured, right, as per the business requirement, right? So let's say business has 10 bank accounts, we need to configure 10 bank accounts. Business has one legal entity, we need to configure one legal entity. So that is something we need to understand as a part of the overall configuration, right? So from here, we can do all the relevant configuration. So hope that is okay with you. Now, what we need to understand, the first thing as a user, I need to understand how to get the access of this particular screen, setup and maintenance, because all my configuration related aspects will be covered through setup and maintenance only. So how, as a user, I can get the access of the same? So as I mentioned, it's a role-based concept, role-based architecture. So how to assign the roles? So we'll go back to the admin user here. I'll go back to my admin user, this one, and here I'll add one, right? When I click on add one role, so the name of the role is application, APPLICATION, implementation consultant. So if you see here, there is a role application implementation consultant that I need to assign to my user, right? Now, what this particular role does, it will give you the access of the setup and maintenance, and on the basis of which you'll be able to start your configuration. So this is first thing that you need to make sure, that whenever your user account is created and you want to do the configuration, you want to start the configuration, you have to make sure that this particular role has been assigned to you, right? Now, if you have the access of this particular screen where you can assign yourself the roles, so that is something you'll be doing. But normally the case is, in when we do the actual implementation, it is the admin user who gives you these kind of roles so that you can start as the configuration as an application consultant. Okay, so I'll click on done here. Now, once you have this roles, what will happen? You'll be able to access the setup and maintenance page, and then and there you'll be able to start the configurations. Right. Now, let me just sign out and sign in for the other user that I've created. So I'll just enter the basic details like credentials, right? Still not updated, so it will take may take some time, like few minutes and all. And after that, once it is updated, you'll be able to see setup and maintenance. Yeah, right. I'll just refresh it. I'll just sign out, and then I'll sign in again. Meanwhile, let me take you back to the presentation. So here, same thing, role-based security. So let's say we have a user called Christopher. He is responsible for handling the general ledger related tasks. So then and there, we need to assign the user these particular roles so that the particular user will be able to perform those functionality, right? Now, when I say about the roles, right, I was speaking that yes, we do have roles and all. So there are module specific rules which are already been available in the system, right? For different modules, the system comes with the predefined rules. So what you can do, you can just select those rules, assign to your users based upon the modules that you are going to use, right? So first one is the application implementation consultant. As I mentioned, this particular role will be used for allowing the setup and maintenance for the configuration purpose. So anytime you want to start configuration, you need to have the access of this role. And there can be chances where there are users who are responsible only for handling the transaction. So in case they're handling the transaction, they'll be using these roles. They'll not be having the application implementation consultant role because they are not responsible for doing the configurations. But as an implementation consultant, we will be covering both the aspects. One is the configuration aspect. Second one is the functional aspect. Functional means all the functionality testing and all. So then and there we'll be requiring all these roles depending upon the module that we are working, right? For the configuration purpose, only this one rule is required. It will help you to configure all the modules, but from the functionality point of view, respective module related rules will be required. So we have some predefined rules in the system: general accountant, general accounting manager, accounts payable invoice supervisor, accounts payable payment supervisor, etc. Right? So depending upon the modules we have. Now, if as a user, let's say if for example I'm responsible only for general account tent related rules or general ledger related functionality testing or user, I'm a GL user, then I'll be having only access to these roles, which means I'll not be able to see these icons available in my user account, and I'll not be able to use this functionality. So for example here, this is my user, right? So if I go back here on my home page, so I have access to general accounting, I have access to payables, I have access to cash management, I have access to fixed asset. Reason being, I have all the relevant roles which are available here, right? Whereas the other users that we have created, right? Let me just sign in again here. Let me enter the details, credentials here. If you see here, you won't be able to see the modules which are for which you don't have the roles. Like GL, you don't have the roles, so you're not able to see the GL. Only some of the basic options or some of the cedar options which are available by default, only those you'll be able to see here. Correct. Now let me check again if the setup and maintenance is available. So the answer is yes. Now refresh happen, and now you are able to access the setup and maintenance page. So there's the new user that I've created. Now, this is your configuration page, right? So always you'll be able to start your configuration from here. So let's say here by default compensation management, which is another part, another module, another subsidiary of the ERP, which is available here. So what we need to do, we are as a finance consultant, we need to access the finance module. So we'll just click on financials, and then in there you'll be able to see all the financials modules which are available here for the purpose of doing the configuration. Right. Now, in this context, just one more thing for the information. There might be a possibility that by default you'll not be able to see the financials options here, right? And especially these kind of things you may experience if it's an altogether fresh application or new application. So by default, if these applications or this setup area is not available, so we have actions here. Under actions, we have something called offerings, and under offerings, all the subject areas, right? As I mentioned, it's an ERP application, means one single application can handle all your business operations, right? Including your procurement, your human capital management, your manufacturing, right? Your product management, right? So all these are part of different business requirements, different business subject areas, right? So one single application can handle all these things, right? So my financials are handled here. So I'll just click on financials here. I'll select financials. Then I have opt-in features. So when I click on opt-in features, right, then and there I'll be able to see the list of all the modules that I have. So if you see here, financials, general ledger enabled, suppliers enabled, supplier invoice processing, expense enabled, fixed asset enabled, right? Receivables enabled, cash management enabled. So In case it's a altogether a new application where by default you're not able to see any of the financial modules, what you need to do here, you have to opt in, you have to enable those modules here. So in this application, it's already enabled, so there is no need to do that. We are able to see this. But in case you are using a new application, you can enable this as a part of your offerings, right? So that is also something that can be considered. And what it makes sure that we are or whatever as a business which is required to be used as a part of the application, we need to we can enable that and we can start using that, right? And this is one of the best thing about this application, that the application comes up with a pre-built framework where it has all the modules already there in the system. So whatever that the business is willing to use, or whatever licenses business has taken, so based on those licenses, the features or the modules can be enabled from here, right, as a part of the offering. And once those features are enabled, then what you can do, you can start the configuration. Your particular modules along with the subject area will be visible here, right? So hope you understood this concept, like how as from the scratch, how as a user I'll be able to access the application, or how my user account will be created, what role is required in order to start the configuration, from where to access the application in terms to start the configuration, what are the basic preferences that I can set in order to use this application, and how to read about this application, means how I can check on which current version it is working on. Is it upgraded, latest upgraded, or it is something which is pending for upgrade? Correct. So on the basis of these basic details, we will be able to start the configuration. So the next part is in the next regular session, what we will be doing, we will be discussing how to start the configuration, what are the solutioning, designing things, or how the solution architect works in terms of solution designing, what are the key concepts of the Oracle Fusion financial modules, right? So the first module that we are going to start is the general ledger. In the general ledger module, we'll see various concepts, how to design the overall solution of the GL, how business works in the real life scenarios, what are the key considerations that we need to take while designing the overall solution. So all this aspect we'll see parallelly. We'll discuss the topics, we'll do start the configuration also, right? And as a part of this program, what we'll be doing, there is something very important that I would like to share additionally here. So let me just take a moment. I'll just open the file here. So if you see, uh, as a part of this training, what we have done, we have prepared the implementation workbooks, right? So we call it as configuration workbooks. So module-wise configuration workbooks has been prepared, right? So if I open this, just for example here, so this is something very important. So all the tasks that we are going to perform, right? So all are listed here in the sequential manner, right? So as a consultant, you need not to remember that, okay, after this task, what next to be done? You just have to follow this configuration workbook one by one. We'll be discussing each and every task which is applicable. We'll discuss how the configurations are based on this, right? So if you see here, all the configuration in the system that we're going to do are listed here. We'll refer it one by one and along with data, right? It's not only the task name which are mentioned here. These are the task name. You just need to copy this task name, paste in the setup and maintenance. The task name will open. But at the same time, what we'll be doing, real-time data preparation is something that we'll be doing. So along with the system, when we do the configuration, you also will be having a backup of the configuration workbook. So for any of the setups, you can directly refer these configuration workbooks. All the setup that we are going to do in the system are equally available here, right? Now, this thing, why I'm focusing on this thing, this is something which we have prepared on our own. We have, and this is something which we not only use for the training, this is something we use in the real life implementations also. So one of the very helpful user guide will be using that. And while using also, this will be shared across with the students also, so that you can also use for doing your own assignments or your own practice, correct? And on the basis of this, what it makes it easy to understand what is the overall flow of configuration, how to do the complete configuration. Now, let's say for example, this is for the general ledger, right? Now I can just use this I can just make the changes here in the data. Means, let's say here I have implemented one company called ACC, right? So instead of ACC, let's say it's a different data set or different company. So I'll just make the changes, changes in the data, and I'll follow the same sequence. And based on this, my GL configuration I can complete, right? Same way I can complete my accounts payable. Same way I can complete my cash management. So each and every module that I'm going to cover as a part of this training program, I'll be sharing these relevant documents called configuration workbook, as well as on a daily basis, we will be using something called the working file, where all the topics that are discussed, all the test cases which are discussed will mention in the working file. So you can use that as a backup document. So anytime you're doing the practice from your side, you're referring back to a recorded video. So you can use that for uh, the reference of any concept which is discussed in class. So all the examples and everything will mention as a part of our working file, right? So one of the very important document, very helpful document, especially from the configuration point of view. And also then once the configurations are done, whatever testings we are going to do, so the testing results, all those details we are going to maintain as a part of our worksheet, right? So that is the overall uh, approach that we are going to use as a part of this training program. All right, team. So let me take a moment here. Um, all right, just for the information, our admin team in the chat, they have shared the enrollment forms with you guys. So please complete the forms, because based on these forms only, uh, we will be able to share the access of the web portal that we have, because all our recordings will be uploaded on the web portal after each and every session that we have in within the immediate next hour. The recordings will be uploaded, so it will be available for the students to access. Plus the new meeting link for the regular batches is also will be based on the enrollment only. So once the enrollments are done, the new meeting links will be shared so that you can attend the regular classes. And also the relevant documentations, relevant repository links, and all instance links, means application links, private server and public server, will be based on the enrollments only. So in case you have any doubt, please connect with the admin team and they'll be able to help you out. Uh, let me go through some of the questions. Will the course cover creation of roles? Yes, we'll be looking into the creation of custom roles as the topic. And as of now, yes, I have given you the preview of the seeded roles. But when we have a discussion on the roles, overall role architecture, how it works and all, also at that point of time, we'll cover that how we can create the custom roles. So that is something we can cover as a part of the training program. Okay, please explain the database compatibility. Okay, so basically when we go to the instance details here, right? So database compatibility basically means the details of the database on which this particular application is running, right? So across the globe, Oracle has different data centers where the this data or the application data is hosted, right? So it's a kind of like Oracle maintains the server where this data gets stored, right? And this details of the database is available here, right? So this is more from the database team side, where if they are accessing the database, they want to have some queries on the database side. So then and there, they'll be using this information. So this is more like where exactly the data is stored, at what place data is stored. So that kind of information is mentioned here. Do we need any additional coaching for certification? One of the very good question here. Now, as I mentioned that the course has been designed in a way where we will be learning about the application, about the implementation of the application, but at the same time we'll be preparing for the certification. So I'll tell you how we'll be prepared. So nowadays what happens, previously the model of certification was that it was 100% MCQs, right? So there was a limited set of questions, like 60, 70 questions were asked, and you had to all were MCQs, multiple choice questions. So in order to attempt that, your theoretical base was required, that your theoretical concept was clear. But now, what Oracle has done, they have prepared a new model where the certification exam is divided into two parts. One is MCQ based and other one is practical based, workshop based. Correct. What does it mean? Workshop based means in the during the examination, they will be giving you access of the application. They will be giving you certain scenarios in terms of configuration, and then you are supposed to perform those configuration during the certification exam. Correct. And depending on that only we have structured this training program so that you have exposure of both the theoretical concept as well as the practical concept, so it will help you to understand or it will help you to prepare for the certification exam, right? So I'll not say that any additional coaching is required, but I'll say yes, we have taken care as a part of this training program, subject to that you do the hands-on practice, you are aware of the concept, as well as you are also aware of the concept that we are discussing in the as a part of the Oracle training program. So yes, it will help you to prepare for the certifications.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
So just want to understand about the database compatibility. So at the backend, which database is it? Oracle database or like how they are configured? Can we access that database for administration purpose?
So in Oracle Cloud, what happens is Oracle maintains the data, right? So access is only limited for the view only purpose. Now, access of data means that you cannot directly access the whole database, but for the reporting purpose, for the purpose of creation of various reports, right? A limited access is given, which is view only, and that too not the overall database, but specific data tables, right? So within database, you have data in various tables, right? So like that, you'll be able to have the access for creation of report, but it's not like, you can go and change and modify the data in cloud, just like you used to do in the existing previous versions, which is like e-business suite and all, right? So those things will not be here. It will only be the view only rights which are available, and that too for the purpose of creation of various reports.
So the administration part is done and maintained by Oracle itself, right?
It's done by Oracle.
Okay.
Maintenance part, everything is done by Oracle.
Okay.
Another question here, can we get the notes of every class that we are completing up to date? Yes, the answer is what happens is during the class, we will be preparing various notes. We'll be updating the configuration workbooks. So whatever documents that will be updated during the class, immediately after the class, I'll be sharing so that you can use upfront for the purpose of your practice.
So one more question I have.
Yes, please.
How will the cloud concepts help in understanding Fusion?
How is the cloud concept will help
Like
you understand?
OCI, just if someone's having good knowledge on OCI or planning to learn OCI, and how will this fusion and cloud help?
Now, basically, this particular training program has been developed across the financial, keeping in consideration the financial modules, right? Now, what we'll take care here is we'll learn the financial modules in terms of configuration, in terms of functional utility, like how to test various functionalities, how to use the oral application, right? So more on the financial side. Now, apart from this, if you have any additional knowledge on any of the Oracle product, right? So that will be kind of like add-on thing which will add to your profile. Right. So financial aspect is something we'll be covering here. But apart from that, let's say, for example, you have the knowledge of the Oracle integration platform or Oracle BI publisher tool for the purpose of creation of various reports and all. So this training program will help you to like upskill yourself in terms of Oracle Fusion File. So that's how it works.
Okay.
Hi, Abhishek Ramakrishna this side. So may
Hey,
I know the
Ramakrishna.
passing criteria of certification?
So the passing criteria as of now, it's like 60% that you need to score.
60%.
So there are two types of certification. One is the professional certification, and then there is an advanced certification. So for the professional certification, it is 60%. For the advanced certification, which is known by the name Delta certification. So let's say, for example, you have appearing for accounts payable. So accounts payable professional certification. Then over and above that, there is accounts payable Delta certification. So Delta certification it's 75%, and professional certification it's 60%.
Okay. Thank you, Abhishek.
Abhishek, this is Rajshekhar here.
Sure.
Okay,
Please go ahead.
so just curious about is in like EBS, we are having OTC, PTP, and all. Will that cycle be covered, or we are limiting ourselves to only to financials?
So we will be having discussions around the overall cycles. Let's say, for example, if it when we'll be discussing about payables, right? We will be working on the payables module, so we'll discuss the overall procure to pay cycle, right? But our
Mhm.
more concentration in terms of configuration and the functionality testing will be around the accounts payable only, right? But overall cycle is yes, we'll be covering as a part of the discussion. Reason being, uh, if you want to cover the overall procure to pay, means procurement modules also needs to be covered, then that means additional configuration has to be in place in order to use those functionalities, correct?
Yes, yes. So means that you go through the how to means just we have an oral view, right? Not on the practical view how to create PO, purchase
Not
record.
practical. Won't be possible because without configuration.
Yes, yes, understood. One more thing. So will accounting hierarchy, publishers, all these kind of things will be covered, or
So we'll be covering the all the accountings along with the transactions, like how the accounting gets driven. We'll be having a discussion on the how the accounting method works, right? But we'll not be explicitly covering how to modify the accounting methods and all.
so there is a concept known as accounting publisher, right? Okay. Account hierarchies and all.
Account hierarchy, that is a part of the GL configuration. Yeah, that is something to be covered. Yes, yes, yes.
We are covering that, right? So that,
Yeah, yeah.
okay. Approvals also you mentioned.
Approvals will be covered. Yeah.
Okay, great then. Good.
Abhishek sir. So Jyoti here. I have one question regarding this
Mm-hmm.
Redwood. So even we will be working on Redwood instance. So
Sorry, I missed your question. Could you please repeat that
uh,
again?
I have come across this Redwood instance. So even we are going to work in Redwood.
Redwood instance.
Yeah.
Okay, is it like something like Oracle application instance or something
Yes,
like
it's
that?
the I guess it's the like upgraded one.
So we'll be working on this Oracle application, the ones that I have demonstrated today. So on that we'll be working, and within that also the all the financial modules that we are going to cover as a part of the scope of the training. So those will be covered here.
Abhishek, can yeah, Fusion can be compatible with other database like
Fusion
IBM
is
or
compared,
Maxim?
right, right. So that concept is called the integration with the third-party applications. So yes, the product is compatible with various third-party applications.
No, I'm is it specific to database like Oracle database. We are deploying this total application, right?
Mm-hmm.
So whether this can be uh, front end part of this application can be using the back end of other databases like Microsoft SQL.
So normally the database for Oracle Fusion, so or in case the data is maintained in the Oracle Fusion itself, because if you compare, it's not a front-end application, it's more kind of back-end application, right? So it can be compatible with various front-end. However, the data can be stored there directly in the Oracle database. Will be there in Oracle database.
And can we see the data model in the application, like how tables, primary child tables, constraints, foreign keys, this all can we can view in this application,
We can do that. We can
how
do that.
these
Yeah.
things are linked
Mm.
at the record level.
Right. That can be done. So, we have like BI publisher tools where we can create data models and access various data in the which is available in the backend, right? Data tables. So that can be done. Yeah. Now explicitly will not be covering it as a part of this training program, but yes, that is doable.
Okay, just a general question here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, your people are offering two types, right? One is classroom, another is self-placed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take the self-placed and all, will the same thing, whatever you teach, will be covered there?
You mean to say like is the self-practice scope is limited of to what I'm covering here, or
No,
is
no, no,
this
no, not
additional?
like that, not like that. Due to some people might have time constraint, for example, right? For me and all. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go to self-placed, some video training and all, what are already.
Okay. You mean to say
Okay.
recorded sessions and
Yes, yes, recorded sessions.
all?
So,
That okay. Yeah, please go ahead. Let me
so
also
will
get some.
whatever you are showing here will be the
Mhm.
same curriculum there also?
So I'll tell you how it works. So what will happen? Give me a moment. Yeah. So we have something mentioned here, which is lifetime access to video recordings.
Correct.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now every day when we'll be having classes on over the Zoom, right? So the whole class will be recorded, and same recordings will be available in the web portal, TrioTech web portal. So once you have the access of the web portal, you can access the recordings anytime, anywhere, right? So it is not like only limited videos will be available. All the sessions will be available. Now, based on your convenience, offline, you want to access any video, any recording for doing the practice or for any reference purpose, that is something which is available, right? There is no restrictions as such on that. And it's a lifetime access.
No, no. My question is that I'm asking this. So this is a 3 month session, right? 3 month course.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
So there is already one video. There is already one place self-place videos which are already covered previously, right?
Okay. You mean to say demonstration one, right?
Not demo down, not demo. Okay, demos you are offering for two types. One is for this 25,000, other is for 18,000.
Okay. Okay. Oh, now I got. Okay. Okay. So I think we have not mentioned it here, that one. So self-place means the previously recorded videos and those kind of
Yes,
things. Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So my question, I am just asking curiously because
Hmm.
in case if I go for that, whatever you are teaching here
Hmm.
will be the same available there.
So curriculum of the recorded videos are almost the same, except if there is any additional things that we are going to cover in the live classes. So that is where the things can be different. Because what happens when we discuss in the class, right? So there can be various example, various business scenarios which can be put by the various students, right? Students may discussing their own scenarios, right? So those things will only be the missing ones. Otherwise, the recorded videos will cover the same curriculum.
So that classes also yours all taken or somebody.
And we have different teams.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
All right, team. So I think you are aware on the course features. We have discussed this yesterday also, and along with that, I just uh, got updated by the admin team that early bird offer is still valid for today also, especially as some students have joined only today the session. So yeah, you can still take the advantage of this early bird enrollment. So in order to do that, you need to connect with the admin team, and the most important thing here is the instance access. So additional 2 month access along with the training, 5 month access will be provided here for the private server access. So that is something additional you can take advantage of, right? Okay, one very good question is how is the demand for Oracle Fusion financial consultants in the current market, and will AI has any impact on the opportunities? Uh, so I'll take the second part first. Will AI has will take over the opportunities and all? So answer is no. AI is not going to take the existing opportunities, but with the introduction of AI, right? Even now the Oracle products are compatible with the AI. So now it's more like AI-driven approach will be there, and here the product has been made compatible with the latest features and is this is a ongoing process which is happening. So more opportunities now in terms of the Oracle consultant who knows the latest functionalities, who are aware of the latest features. So that is how it will work. And also, team, how is the demand for Oracle? So yes, the demand is in boom because latest available ERP as well as the one of the leading ERP available in the market. So uh, it's huge in demand across the industries, different industries now. As in comparison to the previous version where it was on-premises application, now it's a cloud-based application. So even it is easy for the organizations to adopt this technology, and that's where the demand is increasing. But I'll also give you another part of that, which is like just don't go by my words, just search it on Google or it LinkedIn, and you'll see the opportunities in terms of Oracle Fusion financials. So you'll see on your own. Alrighty, so please complete your enrollments if not done already. So our admin team can give you the access of the portals of the recordings and also share you the relevant details of the courses. And from Monday, so tomorrow is Saturday weekend, this will be off. So we'll start from Monday. The timings of the regular batches will be 8:15 to 9:15 on during the weekdays, and we'll start from Monday. And expectation is as early we start like 8:15 exactly we'll start so that we can effectively cover the agenda of the training, right? Okay, I'll quickly take one more question here. I have a 6-year gap if now I am joined to Oracle, so that's fine. I think because I'm covering both. This training program is designed both for freshers as well as experienced persons, so that should be fine in that case.
So, Abhishek, lastly, there are, see, for experienced people also, you'll be guiding, right?
Mhm. Uh, like yes, of course. I mean, this training program is developed for both for freshers as well as experienced ones, right? The advantage of the students who are already experienced that they may be very well aware of the some of the topics, so it will take lesser time from them to understand the topics. But at the same time, also various business scenarios can be discussed during class. That is one of the advantages.
Okay.
All right, our admin team also has shared the WhatsApp number. So, any queries related to enrollment, please feel to reach out to them. So you can take the numbers in the which I mentioned here in the chat. All right, team. Thank you for joining, and see you on Monday. The regular classes at 8, starting from 8:50. So thank you for joining the session, and have a great weekend. Thank you.
Okay.